But I think it would hit me like, man, everybody that got it accepted into the quote unquote Hall of Fame last night, they all was thanking their mom and dad, and I was just like, dang. One guy was pretty heartfelt. He said his mom passed away 14 years ago, and she was a teacher at our school, and I remember her being a teacher, and I was like, oh wow. I forgot that's his mom, and so I'm sitting there like, dang. Well, neither my mom and dad are here to celebrate this with me, and they're both still alive, but I don't have nothing with them right now. So I don't think I ever will, honestly. Yeah, but I appreciate the people that did show up, though. You know, my buddy Mike, my buddy Paul, and both of them had to work the next day. Mike drove 3 hours from Huntington, West Virginia. Paul drove 2 hours down from Columbus, Ohio to make this, just to be there for me. So very appreciative. And I think the older I get, the more I just want to tell people how I feel about them. And sometimes I'm not good at that. And in the moment, I get a little emotional when you try to open up as a dude, but it was important. I'm glad I got to tell Mike and Paul what they meant to me and how much they helped me in high school. It was important. It was cool. And it was cool to get the award. It was cool. But, man, I was an emotional wreck up there. I was like, oh. I had a camera guy there. He took a couple pictures of me, and one, I'm just, I said, yeah, don't post that, please. And I don't know if maybe I'll post a speech. I know that it got recorded. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not sure yet. But I made sure I didn't focus on who wasn't there and who I didn't have. I really focused on who was there. And it just, I appreciate, like, I did have good people in my life coming up. But it wasn't within the home. It was out of my home that I had good people that helped me out. So, that meant a lot. I was thinking, too, like, growing up, like, I told you the crazy story about my brother, but I think this is when I knew with my stepdad, I had to end the relationship. There's two things that I noticed. I noticed every time I go over there, he used to always put me down constantly. It was constant putting me down. I don't remember him ever saying anything good growing up about me. And I said that a couple weeks ago about the football game. But I remember the straw that broke the camel's back, or so to speak. I remember at this point, I'm a stand-up. I'm successful. I'm doing my thing. And I'm at some family function. And I don't know, I told a joke and everybody was laughing or something and goofing off. And my stepdad walked in and he was like, they pay you to tell jokes like that? Are you kidding me? You telling me people pay money to hear jokes like that? And he did it like kind of being an asshole to me. And I just looked at him and I just went, millions. That's all I said. And he just looked at me and I left, got in my car and drove. I remember pulling out the driveway. I was like, I felt like I got one on him. It was one word, millions. People pay to hear you tell jokes like that? And I remember he just stared at me. And that's when I pulled out the driveway. I was like, oh my God, it's like a weight was lifted. And I didn't speak to him again until my brother passed away. And then you try to reconcile and everything. But yeah, that was the moment. That was like, quote unquote, come to Jesus moment. Like, oh, he can't even just walk in the room and laugh. He got to take that moment to dig on me. I'm just going, you know what I mean? God, that guy was an angry, weird individual. Like, I see some people's comments like, dang, your child could be a movie or a TV show. And sometimes I think, yeah, it'd be kind of hard to piece it together. I guess since I'm on this crazy stepdad story train, I might as well tell another one. This was kind of, I was 10. I think I was 10. Yeah, I was 10 years old. So my stepdad had a buddy, and he lived in Kentucky he married this girl, and they ran this like gas station / diner on the lake, some lake in Kentucky. And they lived there. Like literally, like it was like a floating house that real small, but right next to the house was a diner. So literally they would walk out of their front porch and they walk into this diner, and then boats would pull up and they could fill up with gas in their boats. And I thought the 2 times I went there twice for 2 different summers. I thought that was the coolest place. I thought we were living on the lake. It was cool. I slept on the floor. I just remember, and God, we used to swim underneath where the boats would dock. We'd swim underneath the dock, and you have to go under there, and sometimes you see a snake, and then you'd be like, oh, and you probably wasn't the safest thing because it's like those things where you see the guys get caught in the ice, and they're looking for the opening. You literally had to be like, look up and find the opening and come up to get your breath, and then go back down and swim out. Probably wasn't the safest thing to do, but, you're in Kentucky, baby. Do what Kentucky people do. And every now and then you see a snake just slithering along. And they was like, just leave it alone, just a little garter snake. Because you get to know the other kids that live on the boats and the lakes there. And but my stepdad's buddy Jerry, cool guy. To me, he was cool. It was my stepdad's best friend. It was Rod's best friend. So the diner doesn't open until like noon, let's say. And I walked in there in the morning, and Jerry's prepping the diner, getting ready for people to come in and stuff. And he had like a milkshake machine. And I said, what does that thing do? And Jerry's like, it makes milkshake. I said, you make milkshakes out of that? And he's like, yeah. I said, you can make me a milkshake? He goes, you want to? And I think I asked, I said, can I have a milkshake? He goes, yeah, I'll make you a milkshake. So Jerry's there just, what you want, chocolate or vanilla? I was like, chocolate. Obviously, I like chocolate. So he's making me the chocolate milkshake, and it's going. And Rod walks in, and he walks in as he's pouring me the milkshake. And they're talking, and I don't think Rod's putting two and two together that he's making this milkshake for me. And then he pours it, puts a little plastic top on it, puts a straw in it, and hands me the milkshake. He goes, there you go, Gary. And Rod goes, what? Did you pay for that? And I go, no, I asked for a milkshake. And Rod just snapped on me. Motherfucker, this is how this man makes his money. You can't be coming here begging for milkshakes and freeloading off him. His big word was freeloading. And just, I'm talking snapping over this chocolate milkshake. And then, thank God, his friend Jerry was a little level-headed. He goes, Rod, it's a milkshake. It's fine. He goes, no, he always be doing stuff like that, man. He be begging for stuff. And I was like, he literally took like this wonderful moment of, I really was interested in how this diner worked. He was showing me how the fryer worked, where they store the meat. That whole 45 minutes I was there before Rod got there, it was just me and Jerry talking about boating, living in Kentucky, just nothing, whatever a 10-year-old can talk to a grown man about. And then, oh my God, as any kid would do, that thing makes milkshakes? So I can have a milkshake? You want a milkshake? Yeah, I want a milkshake. And it was such a cool moment. And it was the worst milkshake I ever drank because of Rod, because I felt so guilty. I wanted to throw it away, and I was like, forced to. Nah, that milkshake was fire. I ain't gonna lie, it was good. I'm about to throw it away. But I remember I was just like, I felt so, because when he yelled, my stomach dropped. And I was like, I felt so bad drinking the milkshake. I was like, I feel like an asshole. I was like just sitting I went to the front of the restaurant and sat outside a little front porch, just sipping on it. And then Rod just walked by. I was like, this guy just snapped over chocolate milkshake. Maybe it should have been vanilla. I don't know.